Guys, Caitlin Clark is officially out for the remainder of the season. Boy, does this suck.
Karma strikes the WNBA. Caitlin Clark just dropped a bombshell that could destroy the league's 2025 season.
Caitlin Clark is officially out for the remainder of the season.
She's officially out for the year. This isn't just an injury. This is the collapse of the league's golden plan right in front of millions of fans. Question now isn't just what happens to Clark. It's what happens to the WNBA without its biggest star. And here's the kicker, the superstar herself. Shut down the fake narratives exposing the lies the league tried to sell.
Because I will contend that they have known this was going to happen, and they did not want to tell anybody.
So tell me, does the WNBA really care about her health or just their image? Who failed her? The league, her team, or the system? Drop a comment, and if you're with her, type, "We want justice for Clark." From the start of her rookie season, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a player. She was the entire show. Ratings skyrocketed. Arenas that used to echo with empty seats suddenly sold out, and networks were fighting for broadcasting rights as if it were the Super Bowl. This was the Caitlin Clark effect in full swing.
Have you noticed that this year, the way sports media has covered the WNBA, it's gone back to 2022. It's gone back to out of sight, out of mind. It's gone back to WNBA. Is there anything going on in W? No? Okay, why am I going to talk about the WNBA?
But the league had other plans. During the All-Star weekend, Clark was already forced out of the spotlight with a nagging groin injury. She was only able to play 13 games this season. Even in those, she dominated. 16.5 points per game, 8.8 assists per game, surpassing even her rookie numbers. 5 rebounds per game, 1.6 steals per game. That's elite production. Those stats were proof that even in the limited time she was there, Clark was the FEVER's engine. And honestly, the WNBA's entire marketing department rolled into one. And yet, instead of protecting her, the WNBA seemed to go out of its way to tear her down.
There's only 3 games left. Y'all are not about to have her all of a sudden start getting physical practices in and then put her in the game.
Remember the All-Star Unity shirts? Oh right, those were totally about togetherness. If that was true, then I'm the commissioner of the NBA. Those shirts weren't about togetherness. They were about icing out the WNBA sensation, the one player fans actually came to see. Behind the scenes, this moment had been pre-planned, subtly excluding her from the spotlight while pretending it was spontaneous. And just when you thought the pettiness couldn't get any worse, along came Kelsey Plum, the infamous tattletale jab when Plum mocked Clark on live TV.
And not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just
The crowd laughed, the league chuckled, and Indiana's hero was humiliated. Sabrina Ionescu, who was sitting right next to Plum and part of Team Clark, responded with visible sarcasm, saying that really needed to be mentioned. But if you think that was bad, wait until you hear what happened next. When the All-Star starters were announced, Caitlin Clark, the player single-handedly breaking every ratings record, was left off the list. Off. Unbelievable, right? And guess what? Tickets immediately collapsed by nearly 50%. Fans voted with their wallets, and the message was loud and clear. No CC, no party. Clark didn't even need to speak, but when she finally did, it was a Mikey drop heard around the world. The announcement shook everyone. She's sidelined for the rest of the year. In her own words, "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season." She added, "Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I'm feeling." The Indiana Fever released their official statement soon after, and more than apologetic, it seemed a little desperate.
Clark, the 2024 #1 pick, had been limited to 13 games this season, hadn't appeared since July 15th, when she suffered a right groin injury in the final minute of the Fever's win over the Connecticut Sun.
The energy that women's basketball brought to the league, along with those record-breaking viewership numbers, it was all gone. But here's where it gets wilder. The game changer, Clark, didn't go out without leaving a mark. She subtly exposed the entire charade. Inside her statement was a quiet but deadly message that shattered the WNBA's fake unity.
Because Caitlin Clark fans, I want to say Fever fans, but at this point, so many of you, including myself, has lost faith in everybody involved in leadership and in management and coaching. We've just sort of, I got to tell you, I don't have any more real good things to say about the Fever organization as of now, because I will contend that they have known this was going to happen, and they did not want to tell anybody.
Then came the so-called official statement from the Fever front office. Amber Cox, the Fever's COO and GM, said, "Caitlin has worked so hard throughout this time, doing everything possible to recover and return to the court. But ultimately, time is not on our side," Fever Chief Operating Officer and General Manager Amber Cox said in a statement. "While we will continue working with Caitlin and provide her with every resource we have available, there is not enough time left in our season for her to safely return, and her long-term health and well-being remains our top priority. We are looking forward to having her back at full strength to start the 2026 season." Sounds nice, right? Very corporate, very clean. But let's be honest, it's the same recycled "we care about her health" line fans hear every single time the league fails its players. Because if Caitlin Clark was truly their top priority, she never should have been shoved through a brutal schedule and left to play through pain until she literally broke down on the court. So forgive the fans if they call it for what it is: damage control. And just when you thought the WNBA's meltdown couldn't get more dramatic, Fever head coach Stephanie White revealed another reality. She hasn't been able to do a whole lot of contact. That's the hope. Long-term health is our priority. In plain words, it meant Clark hasn't even been allowed to get hit, not in a drill, not in practice. And instead of admitting the obvious, she packages her statements as a cautious insurance ad. At this point, it's plain PR attempts to somehow dodge accountability. But with each passing day, as the WNBA plays defense and Clark stays sidelined, the league's credibility drops at the same rate as their ticket sales. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Fans did not take these developments lightly. The post quickly went viral on the internet. Someone wrote, "The WNBA is done without Clark," while others posted, "Protect her or lose her." This is what happens when jealousy runs a league.
It makes me really sad because, I mean, me, like many of you, Caitlin Clark is the most exciting player to watch in the WNBA. Though I am a fan of the entire league, I was just watching the Mystics play the Mercury.
Even LeBron James, yes, King James himself, commented on the irony of it all. Minor setback, major comeback. And that's when karma walked right into the WNBA's front office. Fans were no longer pointing to the Clark scandal alone. They were pointing fingers at the entire WNBA system.
To this league, the viewership for the Caitlin Clark games largely surpassed anything else going on in the WNBA. I would argue that the amount of Caitlin Clark fans are at least 3x.
With the superstar gone, the WNBA collapses like a house of cards. Sponsors, viewers, ticket sales, and the playoff hype they had created. Everything's crashing down all at once. The league built its entire marketing machine around one player, and then allowed jealousy to eat away at their own initial strategy.
But it becomes now that Clark is officially out, how many healthy bodies do they actually have to make a playoff run if they hope to make one? We know that all of the teams that get to play in the first round will at least have one home.
The same voices who screamed, "Pay us what you owe us," now have to face the reality that the checks are a whole lot smaller when Caitlin Clark isn't cashing in fans, sponsorships, and revenue.
Yeah, you're dead. The WNBA pretty much blew its opportunity.
And here's another elephant in the room. Why are so many players going down this season? It's not just Caitlin Clark. We've seen stars across the WNBA suffer injuries left and right. Fans have started wondering what might be the root of it all. Is it the brutal schedule? Or is it poor player protection? Or is it that the league is so desperate for ratings, they're pushing these athletes to their breaking point?
Announcement before we get out of here, man. Year 3 CC will be generational. Wow, this was a scam. The organization is trash for doing that to the fans. You better get Caitlin Clark 100% healthy and tell us what was really wrong with her. No vague groin injury. We aren't letting this organization off the hook. Now, if you remember, she also had an ankle injury that came out of nowhere. So I'm like, what is going on with Caitlin, man? What are we doing here? Man, very irresponsible by this organization.
Think about it. When several big attractions like Clark are out for the season, one after another, that's less coincidental and more of a system problem, and the WNBA can't hide from it anymore. The question now is simple. Did the WNBA just destroy its own golden era before it even began? Caitlin Clark won't be returning this season, and if this isn't the wake-up call the WNBA needed, then maybe there won't be a future to wake up to. Type it in the comments right now. WNBA owes Clark respect. Let's see how many fans are really riding with her. If you want to keep up with all the drama shaking women's basketball, hit that subscribe button and check out the next video.